everybody, welcome back to my channel. Michaela Allison here, and Abigail is right down there. So if we switch to baby talk, that's who I'm talking to. And if you hear a little jabbering, girlfriend's here. We are in my bedroom today. I've bit of a switch up. Jameson is napping and Tyler's in the living room. So I thought we'd make do with this setup, and I think it's kind of cute. So without further ado, today our topic is why I chose to leave Instagram. So the story kind of begins many weeks before I actually left Instagram. I'm in two Bible studies. One is talking about wisdom, and the other is talking about stresses as a mom and biblically how we get through that by relying on the Lord's grace. Both very good Bible studies and both very different. In my wisdom Bible study, we got to talking about what's the Lord working on, and what have you been doing to listen to Him. And I realized that I've been talking so much in my relationship with the Lord, but I haven't been listening. Yeah. So I decided, you know what, hey, I'm going to start listening, like truly trying to listen to the Lord. And so as I started to listen to the Lord, life goes on, right? And me and my grandmother have been really close lately, especially hanging out a lot more. And I was helping her sell something on Facebook Marketplace. We went and met the person, and while we were sitting in the parking lot waiting for this person, we got to talking, and some way or another it ended up with social media, which I ended up opening up to my Nana and saying, I know I have an issue with Instagram and posting too much on it and comparing myself too much on it, but I don't know how to get out of it. Like literally addicted, you guys. And I've tried my fair share of just getting off of it for weeks or months, but I'd always come back and just completely be addicted, and it completely changes my personality and who I am. And I kind of opened up about that to Nana, and then just started meditating on it. And then when I went to my Bible study, this was my mom's group Bible study, I kind of opened up to them, and the same thing came out of my mouth, like, I want to get out of this rut of Instagram. You have things to say. But I didn't know how, and I let them know. I was like, I know it's a me problem, and I know I could do it. Once I left that Bible study, I was driving home, and the Holy Spirit kind of brought up some pride issues and stuff, and was asking me, you know, like, who's the most prideful person you know? And automatically, I shot out a name. It wasn't me, it was somebody else. And the Lord just kind of let me sit with that. He didn't respond. And I already started having some conviction about it, and I was like, okay, God, I hear you. Me, you know, like that is such a prideful response. And so I just kind of started thinking about it and listening to what He was telling me in that moment. So that weekend I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna cut off Instagram. It's not worth it to me anymore. It takes up too much of my time. And I noticed that Instagram was the root cause of a lot of my pride issues, through comparison and envy, and like that going on cycle of so and such has this, so and such house looks like this, their children are put together like this, they wear clothes like this, and so on. I mean, I feel like we all do it, even through the YouTube world. I'll let you know what my room actually looks like here in a second, so you're not like, oh, look at her room, so perfectly put together. Just wait. But yeah, I was comparing myself to everyone, and then even deeper in that, when the Lord was telling me to get off of it, you know what I told Him? Y'all. And I thought someone else was more prideful than me. I said, Lord, but if I get off of Instagram, who is going to teach people biblical knowledge? Who is going to teach people how to raise their children, how to be a homemaker? Excuse me? Yeah, me and God were real to each other. And I said that, and the second I said that, I shut up. I was like, ooh. You think, Michaela, that the Lord doesn't have anyone else on this earth to teach people what they need to know. You think it's all you. You think that you are the only one that can tell people things. Oh boy. Yeah, so once I said that, I tried to shove it back in my mouth. Because wow, right? But like, these are our hearts, you guys. Like, you think you're all good and dandy until you really start asking the Lord to open up your heart and really start listening to Him. And so after I said that, I was like, no, like, wow. He is way more powerful than I, and He could zap me in a second. He does not need me, yet He chose me to open up my house when I need to. He chose me to teach others about my child when the time came, but He doesn't need me. He doesn't need me, but yet He wants me here. That's a whole thing in itself. So the moment I said that, I was like, no, clearly this is a bigger issue than I thought. I'm a very cold turkey person. So I was like, no, just cut it out. We're just going to... Really? Oh, really? We are just going to say goodbye, like, forever. And so this was like a Friday. My Bible study was on Friday, and all this happened within like a day or two. And so I was like, okay, we're cutting it out after Sunday. We're going to go through the weekend. We're going to let everyone know, like, hey, I'm getting off. And get people's information if they want to continue talking to me. You know, like actual old school relationships. So that's what I did. So the weekend went on. I started giving a heads up to my friends and followers. That drives me crazy. On Instagram. And I ended up getting a lot of messages back, phone numbers, so I can keep up with some friends. But yeah, so weekend goes by, and then we go to church on Sunday, and guess what my pastor was talking about? He was talking about comparison, pride, and comparison and envy. Well done, Jesus. Well done, Lord. I hear you. My husband literally, because I was talking to him about this, and I'm getting off and why, he looks over at me, and he was like, how do you always do this? How do you always go through life and then our sermons are about your life? That's when you know you're listening to the Lord and you're actually hearing Him. Oh my goodness. That was like a confirmation in itself, which I already told myself, like, you will be deleting it today. So we get home and I deleted it. It was sad how difficult it was to delete that app. My account is still on Instagram. It's still there. I didn't delete it. I have a lot of history on Instagram, but I deleted it from my phone and I'm not getting back on. I deleted it, and it's been, I want to say almost 2 months, if not maybe 2 months since I deleted it. And y'all, I haven't missed it one bit. I haven't missed it one bit. So I deleted it, and I was like, alright, here we go. What's the plan from here? I found out I didn't have any extra time on my hands. I don't know how I had time to be on Instagram because my life is so busy that I don't even have time to be on it anymore. I wrote down a couple notes on like what changed and like different things that have gone on after, so I'll read you a couple of them. Right after I deleted it, maybe a day or two after, I was lying in bed just like thinking of my life, you know, and thinking of how I was putting myself out there for everyone to see my day-to-day life in my house and how it was done, you know. And I literally thought to myself, wow, I can decorate my house however I want to now. You know how sad that is? Like, that's so sad that I was such a slave to Instagram that I didn't feel like I could even decorate my house how I wanted to because I was comparing myself to so many other people, that I wanted my house to look a certain way. Like, that is toxic. That's so toxic. Also, the way I dress my children. Like, I would make sure my kids were pristine, their outfits were precious before I made a picture, or even before I made a vlog. That's changed a lot too. You want to see Abigail right now? This is my beautiful baby girl, and she is in blue sweatpants and looks like a little boy right now. Boop, boop, boop. And I literally questioned changing her before this video. That's how deep this stuff is rooted. The comparison game and like perfect living. Ugh, like, gross. gross, you guys. They're babies, they're children. Let them just, she's wearing this outfit because it's warm and soft. Like, come on now. But I'm telling that to myself. That's right, honey. I don't have to doll up my children for you guys to see them. I know you don't even care. And living this way is way more realistic than living the other way. And then that would be a whole other cycle of comparison, because you would be comparing yourself to me. And that's not what I want my channel to be like at all. Before coming to the conclusion that I was prideful, I brought up to my other Bible study group that I was so judgmental, and I didn't want to be judgmental, but I didn't know how to get past it. And come to find out, this was the issue. I give so much more grace to people now that I'm living a life that's so imperfect. And it's so beautiful, because now I go to someone's house and it's a mess, and I'm like, thank you, let's normalize messy houses, okay? Let's normalize the dishes in the sink still not cleaned, because that's life, okay? We can't live perfect. I have so much less judgment in my heart, so much more grace that I can extend to other people just through the lack of social media. Like, wow, my anxiety has gone down so much. Like, wow, so much. All because I'm not feeling the pressure of judgment. Like, feeling like someone else is watching me, which is my own fault. You guys, like, I was videoing it every single day. It was my fault. I've made new friendships through deleting it. One of my new girlfriends, she and I connected after I was saying I was leaving Instagram, and she was like, no, we need to be friends. So I got her number. She and I go to the Bible study, the mom's Bible study. We go there now together, and we're eventually going to get our kids together and hang out. But that's super cool. I've been having much longer conversations with people. If I'm on social media 24/7 and you're on social media 24/7 and you watch what I'm posting, say I had a coffee, I went out to a coffee shop and had a coffee. And then maybe I took the kids to the park, and then maybe Jameson fell and something happened. We end up in the ER, you know, horrible. But like, say that happened and I videoed it all, you would know. So then when we get together, I wouldn't feel like we need to talk about anything because you already know it. So that's an example of what social media does to me. And so now when I get in a room with somebody, they actually need to know what I'm doing. They're not in my life. They don't know what I'm doing. And so it's made conversations so much longer and more fruitful and more genuine. Wholesome, you guys. My life is way more wholesome. And then the last thing it's done is it's made me take far less pictures and not edited them once I've taken the pictures. My camera roll while on Instagram, oh my gosh, I would probably take hundreds of pictures a day. Now, I could go through a day without taking one picture. But the pictures I do take are like real life stuff, you know? Like actual important pictures. And I've started making photo albums. I started Abigail's baby book. I've got big plans for the future of my photos because they're going to be tangible and like, ugh, that's the best nostalgic thing, is looking through photo albums. So if you ever come over, ask me to look through my photo albums. I will be so happy to show you them. But yeah, so that's why I left. That's what's happened since I've left. Do I plan on getting back on? No, absolutely not. The next time I will probably be back on Instagram is when Jameson grows up and say Instagram is still a thing and he wants one. I will get back on to make sure he is taken care of there. No, I don't want to get back on. I love this life without it. It's so freeing and just so peaceful. And no, I don't think I'll be getting back on. Sorry, you guys. I love the YouTube platform because the only thing I do ingest is channels that I have watched for a while, and I know that I'm not comparing myself. I'm learning from the platforms I follow now. Okay, come here. But yes, that is why I left Instagram. Life is too short to waste so much time on my phone. I have 2 beautiful children that I need to take care of and that they need to learn from and invest my time in. And It's been such a great couple months without it, and I recommend you do it too. I know, cringy, right? But do it, try it. Try a week. Just try a week of no Instagram or Facebook. Is Facebook your big thing? Just don't. Just delete the app from your phone, because you can always get back on it. And see where your time goes. Where do you invest your mindset, just thinking and not picking up and scrolling. I would love for y'all to try that for 1 week and get back on this video and let me know how it went. I would love to know how your life changed that week. Thank you guys so much for coming and watching us and listening to what I have to say and what's been working for me. And I pray that you start listening to the Lord and truly obeying what he has to say, because it's truly life-changing, and he is here for us and he is working for us, as long as we can just, if only we could just listen to him, All right, I think that is all I have to say, but I will close this out and say, may the Lord bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you, lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Bye.